Okay, we're gonna try this again. Hey, so we are trying this again because let me tell you something. A lot has been going on, and I am just so excited about 2024. I believe God has more in store in 2024. 2023 was a year of press, struggle, just endurance, long suffering, and I still did it with an intent and an understanding that I would reap, right? And so you have to remember every one of us are in our different seasons, and your season is not going to necessarily be my season, and my season is not going to be your season. And what happens a lot of times is that when we're in certain seasons of our lives, we see other people in a different season and we want to be in that season. And so we don't really embrace the opportunity of the learning that we experience in the current season because we're so busy thinking about how to get into the season that somebody else is in. And so I don't know a lot about agriculture and agricultural things. But what I do know is that there are seasonal seeds that come up. There are plants that are for certain times of the year. Some plants you can have all year round, but most of them you cannot. Most fruits and veggies you can grow during certain seasons of the year, right? And so the expectation is that even though you put a seed in the ground, you know that it's not necessarily going to reap the harvest until a certain point in time because it takes a certain type of season, atmosphere, and all kinds of environmental, you know, what word am I looking for? Basically environmental circumstances to really come into play so that you can then reap the benefit of the seed that you sowed, right? And so although 2023 was tough, it was very difficult, as I said. I still found myself in a really good place. I found myself in a really good place because I was embracing the learning, and the experience was not for me to be frustrated or stagnated or even content with the way that things were, because I knew that I had a different place that I wanted to see myself at, whether it was myself, whether it was my family, whether it was my spiritual life, my spiritual walk, my finances. Everything has a season. And so I said that to say this. I had the pleasure, and I have to give a shout out to NYBU. This Saturday was amazing. All of the speakers were great. The vendors were great. I have some that I'm going to be checking out over the next couple of weeks because I didn't get a chance to chat with some in purchase. Because I'm a believer. Look, I'm an entrepreneur. I am not about to sit here and tell you what I'm doing and ask you to support me, and I don't support you. I just feel it's reciprocal. It just has to be a give and take kind of thing, not take, which is what most people want to do. And so I had the pleasure of being there, and my nonprofit was a sponsor. Shout out to Parent Villages, and we were able to really be a part of that, and all the youth that got scholarships and everything. Regina, Darius, Ariana did a fabulous job as usual. So we had some good speakers. Shout out to Ziamara, shout out to James G, and we had June Archer. And so one of the things that happened that I thought was phenomenal, right? So June is talking, and I've heard of him and never really been in his presence or space, but I had the opportunity to listen to some golden nuggets that he was dropping. And one of the things that he talked about was doing things dirty and cleaning it up later. And then I have my other, one of my mentors, coaches, who always talks about just get it done, just get it started, right? And it's funny because if y'all been listening to me and y'all been reading what I post or things of that nature, you know that I'm a very meticulous administrative person. People who have worked with me know that I'm very meticulous in how things are done and the processes in place and stuff, because my brain literally sees things in layers whenever you give me a task as to what needs to be done. And so I had a hard time with what he was saying, but I knew what he was saying was right, because it's true. If you wait around for everything to be perfect, you will never get started. And so I kind of thought back onto, what one of the things that I talk about in the book. I talk about ABCDs, and the ABCD framework. The D stands for delivering with excellence and delivering with empathy. And delivering with excellence does not mean that it has to be perfect, because excellence means there's a mindset, there's a level of quality that you want to make sure that you are delivering with your services, with your products, and whatever that you do. It's always at a certain level. It doesn't mean that it's perfect, because there's always room for improvement. So this is what I want to talk about a little bit more today, is that a lot of you are out there and you are trying to do something and you're either doing it completely off the cuff and no framework, no strategy. Like, doing it now and getting started does not mean that you don't have a strategy in place. Like I talked about earlier about the harvest, and you can't reap a harvest unless you sow a seed. And the seed is not going to come up unless it's in the right environment and in the right soil, right? And it's given the right nutrients. So if you are not planting seeds, if you're not intentional about the things that you're doing, and you're not watering it, you're not nurturing it, you're not doing professional development, you're not taking time to make sure that you actually can see progress in what you're doing, you're not tracking your success or any kind of way, then how are you ever going to reap a harvest? How are you ever going to benefit? You're not going to benefit, because you're sowing seeds either in the wrong season, or you're not providing it with what it needs for it to grow and flourish. And so if you understand that from a farmer's perspective, farmer sense, then why is it that we don't take that same kind of mindset into our businesses, into our organizations, into our ministries? Why is it that we think we just can do anything, any kind of way, because we put the time in, we're supposed to reap some benefit? You're going to reap exactly what you sow. So if you sow discord, if you sow dysfunction, if you sow debt, because a lot of times we're not thinking about how we're going to prosper out of the situation. We're just throwing good money after bad money. Then that's what you're going to reap if you're not sitting down and taking the time to have a plan. So let me stress that. Get started, get busy, get to work, and make sure that you are documenting what you're doing and that you have a plan in place, that you're developing that plan as you go, right? Because some things you're going to do and you're going to find out this doesn't work well, or you have certain tasks or products that you like, and then you realize this is not what the market wants or that you even enjoy doing. And so, but that doesn't happen unless you're tracking. You can't look back and see, oh, wow, I really didn't make any money off of that, if you don't track it. You can't see, oh, I wasted too much money doing this event, and I really, like, if the purpose of the event was to make money and you didn't make any, why are you doing it again? Or maybe you did it in a way that wasn't gonna bring you forth any profits, right? So the whole point of what I'm saying is stop talking to yourself and saying that you are gonna be and do, and you are not lining up your actions with the words that are coming out of your mouth, okay? I hope that hit somebody in the right place, because it definitely hit me in the right place. And like I said, hearing these words coming from different people that know more than me in certain areas or have had more experience than me in certain areas, I always stay open to learn, willing to receive, right? Because if I know everything, then I can't get anything. So I have to humble myself in a place to know that there's people that know more than me in certain areas, and I have to be willing to receive that so that I can improve. And so I encourage you to do the same thing. Please don't go into a situation thinking you know everything, you got it all down, you're doing it right, you're doing it perfect, because you're probably not, and there's room for growth and improvement. There's always room for growth and improvement. And so that's just a level of humility now I want you to carry into the new year as you're looking at what you're doing and tasks, and just kind of outlining what your season is going to look like. Yeah, and I want to also make sure that I bring to everyone's attention. We talked about the book last week a little bit, Mission-Rich and Profit Powered, how to transform your passion into a fully funded business. We did have a virtual launch, but we will have an in-person book signing at Our Tree Books and Voices on January the 27th at 2 p.m. We will have VIP spot open from 2 to 3. So folks who want to be VIP, you hit me up, let me know. You will get information about that in the next 24 hours. And VIP packages, you're going to have a nice swag bag. You're going to have time with me take pictures and all of that stuff. And then the general public will be able to come in and get their signing from 3 to 5. VIP is only open to the first 25 people. So if you're interested, please, like I said, let me know. It's very reasonable, very reasonable cost. And yeah, you're supporting my business and you're sowing seed into my life so you can reach the harvest, right? And we got to sow seed into each other's lives. And so at any rate, keep your eyes and ears open for more on that, and also upcoming class that we're going to be starting, a coaching program that we'll be launching in February. And so we will be doing an orientation in the next week. And more information on that will also be posted on social media as well. And so if you would like to be a part of my subscriber list, we want to ask you to email LaTonia at monroenaylor.com. That's LATONIA at MONROENAYLOR.com. It will all be in the chat so that you can subscribe to our list and or go to our website, monroenaylor.com, and you may sign up there so that you can join our mailing list and have all the information on the programs and things that are coming up and coming into your area. We're not going to just be in Massachusetts. We will be traveling. We have some upcoming engagements, and we'll tell you more about those as they start to surface. And so with that, I want to say thank you all. Thank you for your time on today. I hope that you enjoyed your tea and your talk with LaTonia on today. Blessings.